That has been the story over the last few years. So if you go back 10 years, you had 60% of the Premier League clubs making losses. Now that's all changed.
Right.
So the growth in broadcast revenue, the growth in commercial revenue that we've seen over the last few years hasn't actually translated into growth in player wages. And so we are entering what we're describing as a new era, really, of kind of financial stability for clubs that is resulting in profitability.
Let me challenge that just gently, if I may. Two reasons. One, I think corporate hospitality has gone through the floor. I've spoken to a lot of corporates who previously would take a lot of their clients out on huge largesse. It's been a great growth area for all these grounds. You always see the rings of the prawn sandwiches, as perhaps Mr. Keane would put it as well. And secondly, correct me if I'm right, wasn't the last Premiership rights underwhelming in terms of, if actually it was better for Sky and it was better for BT than it had previously been? The prices are stagnating, if not going down.
So whilst the price has gone down for those packages that they had sold in the UK, if you take the deal as a whole, which will include the international rights as well, the international rights currently are being sold by the Premier League. We actually expect that the deal as a whole will go up, so probably around 5 to 10% in total. And if you actually take the phenomenal growth that we've had over the last 6 years to then consolidate with growth of 5 to 10% overall is quite impressive. And whilst people will challenge, as you're doing there, the value of those domestic rights and the fact that those packages have fallen in value a little bit, you've got to give the Premier League credit because they've been able to hold a lot of the value, and at a time when entertainment industries in general, as you've talked about, are under threat, they've been able to maintain their position as the key live property for the public.
You made an interesting point, I thought, about Premier League and Steve's point about, the revenue's gone up, but does that actually just go straight into costs? And whilst I think you made the point that on the Premier League, maybe not so much, in the Championship, clearly clubs are now having to pay more for players. So what kind of state is that segment of the football market in?
Well, the Championship is a unique league, really, in that owners and management are really trying to take a gamble to gain promotion to the Premier League. And this season we saw one club, Newcastle United, actually describe their strategy as a financial gamble. They said themselves, we are going to take a financial gamble in order to get return to the Premier League. And it'll be interesting to see whether clubs that are relegated now follow that same strategy. Traditionally, what's happened in the Championship is those clubs earning more money, that hasn't translated into performance. So there's no correlation really between revenue and what happens on the pitch. So it'll be interesting to see whether now, with the clubs taking that different strategy, whether it does actually translate to correlation.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.